Oliver and Dad walked through the big green woods. Oliver wore his bright yellow rain jacket and a small red backpack. His sturdy hiking boots made a happy sound on the ground. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The sun peeked through the tall pine trees like golden ribbons. Dad followed behind with his big green pack. They were looking for a special spot to see the birds. Oliver liked to observe the tiny bugs on the trail. "Look, Dad, a blue beetle," he said. They were having a great adventure.
Around a sharp bend in the trail, they stopped. A very large black bear was sitting right in the middle of the dirt path. It sat down with a heavy thud. The bear was very big and very fuzzy. Other hikers saw the bear and gasped. "A bear! Run away!" one hiker shouted. People turned around and ran back the way they came. They thought the bear was a scary obstacle. But Oliver did not run. He stood very still. He tilted his head to the side to see better.
Dad put a gentle hand on Oliver's shoulder. He did not pull him away. He stayed quiet and steady. Oliver did not feel afraid because he wanted to observe what the bear was doing. He noticed the bear's glossy black coat shining in the sun. The bear was not growling or angry. It was just sitting there, looking very unbothered by the people running away. Oliver's wide brown eyes stayed fixed on the animal. He just watched. He wanted to understand this big forest neighbor. The bear reached out a big, soft paw. Snap! It pulled a branch from a bush covered in dark berries. The bear began to eat the berries one by one. It chewed slowly and looked very happy. Oliver saw that the bear's mouth was stained with purple juice. The bear was not angry, just hungry. It was just a big animal having a quiet morning meal on the trail. Oliver realized the bear was completely unbothered by them. It was just busy filling its tummy with sweet forest treats. Oliver looked up at his dad and whispered softly, "It's not blocking the path. It found the path, went through its breakfast." Dad looked at the bear and then back at his son. He saw that Oliver was right. The bear wasn't trying to be an obstacle on purpose. It just liked that specific berry bush. Oliver knew the bear was not angry, just hungry. They didn't need to be scared. They just needed to be patient. Dad smiled, seeing that the bear was truly unbothered.
Dad and Oliver found a mossy log nearby. They sat down very quietly to wait for the bear to finish. Tap, tap, tap. A woodpecker started knocking on a tree high above them. The forest felt very peaceful and calm. Oliver felt the fuzzy green moss on the log with his hands. He did not fidget or make loud noises. He knew that being a good hiker meant being a patient observer. He kept his eyes on the bear's purple muzzle. He just watched. The morning sun felt warm on his yellow jacket. While they waited, the wind moved through the pine needles. Rustle, rustle went the trees. The bear was still enjoying its breakfast. It seemed to like the biggest, darkest berries the most. Oliver was a patient boy. He watched the bear's ears twitch when a bird chirped. The bear was a very large obstacle, but it was also a very quiet one. Dad stayed close, watching his son be so brave and still. Oliver didn't feel like he was waiting for a problem. He was watching a secret forest show. He just watched. Finally, the bear finished the berries. It stood up on its 4 big paws and gave its body a giant shake. Rustle. Its fur moved like waves. Then the bear turned its great dark head. It looked right at Oliver with soft, dark eyes. It was not a scary look. It was a look that said, "Hello, quiet friend." Oliver stayed still. He knew the bear was not angry, just hungry, and now its belly was full. This was a special moment in the big green woods.
The bear turned and walked slowly into the deep green trees. It did not hurry. It just vanished into the shadows of the forest. Now there was no bear sitting in the dirt. The path was clear. The sun shone brightly on the spot where the bear had been eating its breakfast. Oliver stood up and brushed his pants. He felt very proud that he had stayed to observe. He wasn't worried about the big obstacle anymore. He saw that the trail was ready for them to walk again. Dad and Oliver started walking again. Their boots made a happy sound. Crunch, crunch. "You figured that out, Oliver," Dad said with a warm smile. He looked at his son with pride. Oliver shrugged his shoulders and adjusted his red backpack. He looked at the berry bush as they passed it. "I just watched," Oliver said simply. They continued their hike under the tall pines, feeling very safe. The path was clear. Oliver kept his eyes wide and curious, looking for the next thing to see. He just watched.